All right, guys, so it seems that we have some more legal drama with Schedule One and Drug Dealer Simulator's publisher, Movie Games. So despite talk of an investigation, the company now is claiming that there is no lawsuit, even though right before the game launched, they send their well wishes in a statement that has since been produced by Movie Games company, the publisher of Drug Dealer Simulator 1 and 2. But it seems to me that the only reason why they released the statement is to, number one, like calm the waters, but number two, they're getting absolutely bodied and ratioed and review bombed on Steam. And I'll show you that in just a second. So Movie Games SA released a statement this morning, and they're a Polish company, so this was probably last night with the intention of releasing it in early morning US time. And here is a statement blown up so you guys can see. Dear gamers, we'd like to address the Schedule 1 Drug Dealer Simulator situation and share some facts. Number one, there is no lawsuit. Number two, it is not our intention to prevent TVGS from selling or developing their game. There is an investigation into the nature of similarities between the games since a preliminary legal analysis indicated there might have been an infringement. So they're not specifically talking about actually when that took place. If it took place even before, during, or just shortly after Schedule 1 was released, right? Number four, the analysis and investigation were necessary in the light of repeating opinions that the games were very similar. By not investigating it, Movie Games, being a publicly traded company, could face severe consequences for negligence. This is actually true. They have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to at least look into or investigate claims that people are making, shareholders are making, hey guys, this game here is very similar to this game, should there be an investigation. So it's not like they actively, or do we know this, right? But it's not like they actively went out and, you know, they got all butthurt at the success of Schedule 1 and then they decided to look into it, quote, investigation, and blame it on their an anonymous shareholder, because, you know, shareholders are anonymous for the most part. They don't have to be disclosed unless you're a big shareholder within the company, probably co-owner or have a vested interest. But it seems to me that this is actually the case. Number five, the above was communicated only via ESPI, a stock market communication system where we were obligated to publish such information for full transparency. Again, fiduciary responsibility. Not publishing it would also be the case of negligence. This is actually true, though. From there, it was picked up by the media and in some cases wrongly reported as a lawsuit. So then why the investigation? Where is the investigation going to lead to? Number six, the above is handled only by Movie Games, the publisher, not Byte Runners, the developer of Drug Dealer Simulator 1 and 2. The developer is not involved in it whatsoever. So actually, they're getting dragged under the bus by this whole ordeal. They finish a statement by saying there is no ill will towards TVGS. We even emailed them best wishes shortly before the release, when the game was already huge, but before the investigation was deemed necessary. However, we are obligated to perform this investigation, act accordingly to the scope of the infringement if it is confirmed, and inform the public about it via ESPI. And here are the listings for Drug Dealer Simulator 1 and 2 on Steam, and they're getting absolutely hammered right here, overwhelmingly negative on both listings. And if you go to the discussions, they're actually getting bodied right here. So I took it just one step further and I put the image, the statement, inside ChatGPT, and I asked it if there was any contradiction, and there was. When they said we even mailed them best wishes shortly before the release when the game was already huge, but before the investigation was deemed necessary, and then when you compare that with there is an investigation into the nature of similarities between the games, since a preliminary legal analysis indicated there might have been an infringement. Again, the preliminary legal analysis preceded the full investigation, but they sent well wishes to TVGS before the investigation was deemed necessary. So if they already performed a preliminary analysis suggesting potential infringement, why were they sending friendly notes to TVGS? They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, by showing they're friendly and not malicious, while also justifying a reactive investigation as a responsible public company. So this boils down to three major outcomes. They're softening their stance by playing the no ill will card, but clearly something triggered legal concern before the launch. Not to mention, they're getting absolutely hammered over on X and on Steam. There's also a timeline discrepancy. We don't know exactly when the well wishes took place. Was it before or after the investigation, or the investigation, when did that take place? Was it before or after the well wishes, vice versa? And finally, there's the classic example of the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You have corporate versus the legal team. Maybe the PR community team sent a message to TVGS sending them well wishes before the game released, while the legal team in the background was already investigating in potential copyright infringement. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Once again, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.